Cape since the start of the summer initiation season. It's dehydration and underlying comorbidities that are some of the reasons that are blamed for the deaths. Some reports, however, indicate the initiation deaths this year are fewer than they were this time last year. But how in the world does that make it any better? Professor David Luca Masomo, who's joining us now, is the chair of the Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Rights Commission. Prof, good evening to you. And yet again, another year has gone by. We sit here and we talk about initiation deaths. We're going to talk about policy and government and intervention. The point is this, tell me if you agree, it's not working. Too many young men are dying every year.
I think it does work. What needs to be done, really, is to hold people accountable. The Customary Act Initiation Act of 2021 places full responsibility for convening or opening the initiation schools to traditional leaders. And it does also provide protection, because as a key element in that act is that there must be protection of the lives, the health of the initiates, and the security of the initiates. So this places full responsibility on the traditional leader, the traditional sergeant, the traditional nurses, and all those that play a key role in the school. Now, when kids are placed in the hands of the traditional leader or placed in the hands of those that I've just mentioned, it means those young people should be safe. They are in good hands. Now, some of them were told they died, they drowned in a river. The question may be asked, what were they looking for in the river? Because they have to be, if they have to go to the river, they must go with somebody who knows how to swim, so that he can sort of rescue the young people. So these are the issues of accountability in the main. It's not about the act is not working. It's the fact that the individuals in whose hands these particular cultural responsibility and cultural practice has been placed are not doing much to ensure that the cultural practice is safe for all the children that go to it.
Prof, let me ask you this. How stringent, Prof, forgive me, how stringent are our, I want to call them, and I don't mean to be ignorant about this, so tell me the correct way of saying this. What are the qualification criteria for a traditional leader to continue with a ceremony like this? What does that qualification look like, or the credibility that goes with someone that has to lead these young men through a ceremony like this? Where are they getting their training? Where are they getting their expertise from?
First, the issue of the traditional leader, it's the ceremonial leader of the area. So he or she must know what is actually happening. Two, it's that the initiation school should be placed in the hands of those people who are qualified in terms of cultural norms. And of course, they have also to include those who have gone to initiation schools who are medical practitioners themselves, to make sure that the practice is safe and is done by some people who are well trained in the field. So it's not a question of that the traditional leader must he or himself do it. It is that the act provides the protections, the elements that ensures that the traditional practice is safe for young people to go. It is this, for example, when you talk about dehydration, how does one allow young people not to drink water? And the MEC has emphasized again and again that it's no-go area. The issue of young people drinking water is something that must be allowed at all times. So if young people don't drink water, who must be accountable? It is the traditional sergeant, it is the traditional nurses who are responsible in doing this. So the law must take its course.
Do we ever see these people being arrested? Professor, just last question to you. These traditional leaders, these nurses, these experts, these surgeons, when this goes wrong in a case like this in the Eastern Cape, do we see people being arrested and being sent to prison?
We are told there has been some people who have been arrested and put to prison, and in some instances, the families or the young people themselves who have gone through botched circumcision, they actually withdraw cases. But this time around, we are emphasizing that no one should be allowed to go scot-free. Yeah. They must face the full might of the law. We cannot allow a situation where the traditional practice is actually discredited because of the behavior of people. No one goes to an initiation school to go and die. They must go there alive and they must come back alive. That is the basic and non-negotiable principle.
Are we going to get to a point, and Prof, I'm going to ask you to answer briefly, forgive me for pushing you on time. Are we going to get to a point where we're going to see families not sending their young men to these ceremonies because they fear for their lives? Are we getting to that point?
I don't think it is going to be the case, especially in the Eastern Cape, because the price of going to initiation school is so high that if you have not gone to the initiation school, you are not a man. You cannot participate in the traditional activities of communities. So the price is so high. What we need to do is to guarantee that young people should not go. When they do go, those that are responsible in taking care of them, if they don't do it, they must be arrested and have the full might of the law actually at work. This is the only thing. But to stop this process and people not doing it, it will not be possible.
Yeah. Prof, I'm going to say thank you very much, and I wish 1 year you and I are able to have this conversation and not talk about more innocent deaths being taken as a result of initiation season. But I wish you well for the new year, and 1 year you and I will have a discussion where people have not died. I appreciate the time of Professor David Luka Masoma joining us here on ENCA, Chair of the Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Rights Commission. It's the CRLRC joining us. So.